Hi, my name is Jeff Valentine, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Product at M5. I'd like to take a few minutes to walk you through the M5 callfinity Contact Center application. This system is designed to allow call center managers to independently, without IT help, build, configure, maintain, report on a complete contact center in the cloud offering that's integrated with M5. Because it's part of our solution at M5, because it's part of the same enterprise telephony solution that runs the rest of the business beyond the call center walls, this is the first time that you can take true contact center functionality, the complete queuing capability, recording built in, automatic escalations, prioritized skill routing, and extend it to knowledge workers that aren't call center agents. Anybody with an M5 phone can become part of the queue. Anybody that's able to use a web browser can administer it and set it up. So I'm going to walk you through that process right now. You'll see there's, in the web browser, some menus and menu options, which allow me to really drill down onto live status or reports and dashboards or history. I can drill down into individual call details and provisioning. I can even set up things like our queues. And I'll show you how to do that through a web browser on your own. Let's start with live status dashboards. You can, for example, select you want to see what's happening in your queues right now. This is a great wallboard. Even if you shrink this menu down, this is something you display on a television. We have other sorts of real-time information you might want to see, like, for example, maybe a status at a glance. This glance dashboard allows you to see all queues, what's happening in each queue right now. You'll see there are two queues with calls queued up, each with one call waiting. How long those calls have been waiting, that increments in real time, and what your agents are doing right now. Another way to view real-time agent information is to view the agent dashboard. We can see in quite vivid detail now how many people are logged in, how many are available and not available, and if anybody's on the phone, you'll see that too. Same thing for your queue status. Because there are calls waiting in these queues, you'll see those turn red instantly. A lot of our supervisors would prefer to use a dashboard like this, which allows you to see not only what's happening in all your queues and your agents, but to individually control agent availability, not only globally, but on a per queue basis. So you can see that you have the ability here to set any one agent as available or not available in a queue, as well as available or unavailable as a person. So that when they do become available as a person, in this case, they'll be available in all of these queues in which they're marked to be available in. Now, that's independent of the provisioning. I'm going to show you how to set them up and add them to queues with different priorities. But it's as simple as using this dashboard to just click a link and it instantly changes. Now you can run reports over a period of time as well. So again, point and click easy. We can go select maybe 2 queues and the date range we want to report on, and it'll go select for those queues. It'll report on the calls, the handled and abandoned call counts for each hour. Maybe even the time to abandon or speed to answer, total talk time, average talk time, those are both hours, minutes, seconds, and service level. This is what percentage of the time you answer calls quickly. This is all reportable, and you can change the reports on your own. You can either export it to Excel, save this type of configuration for rerunning later, or you can, of course, print the screen and make a PDF out of it. Now, there's other types of reports. You might be interested, for example, in how your agents are doing. So I'm just going to pull down all of these agents and select them for the last couple of days. We'll see for each agent every time they went available and unavailable, why they were unavailable, and for how long they were unavailable. All these stats are shown on a per queue basis, on a per agent basis, as well as if they took calls in multiple queues. You'll see for each queue how many calls they took. These are broken down per queue, so you get these great stats on calls per hour and average handle time. At the bottom, there's a summary of everything, and it allows you to help manage your workforce. Now, beyond running reports like that, some people would rather take the raw data and export it to Excel, let's say, and not just the pre-formatted report, but the actual data behind it. So we give you direct CDR access, the ability to search for your own calls based on any filtering criteria that you specify here, and then for each one of these calls, drill down into the results. Sure, you could export this to Excel and do a pivot table, but online, you can actually drill into it, see cradle to grave how that call was routed. Because recording is built in, you can listen to the calls and simply fast forward or rewind or download the WAV file right in your web browser. Now, most people in call centers record for a reason. Either you're restoring these calls for proof or liability avoidance in the event that you're sued for something. Some, in fact, most call centers don't use it for that. In only specific industries like finance is that really important. Most call centers want to improve the quality of service they provide. So the system includes tools to help you do that. You can actually build your own evaluations in the system. And using the evaluation builder here, you can see that each evaluation might have questions and answers. In fact, you might even add other questions directly to a particular report and say, I'm interested in, was the call answered properly? And in that case, you might assign point values to this yes or no question. 10 points if you check it, and 0 points if you don't. Now you've got a checkbox on the form. You can add other types of fields like drop-down lists as well. Now when you have a form saved, you can go use your call detail, and instead of just listening to a phone call, we can click evaluate. It'll ask us which form we want to use. So you can have multiple forms if you like. Call was answered properly, is great job. And here it was okay, we'll say. So while you're listening to the call, you're making these judgments about how the agent was performing. And here now you've got a score associated with both the call, the agent, and the evaluator, so that you can run reports and see how you're doing over time. Average for the company is 76%. Here's the last evaluations that we've completed. The evaluators you can filter by form, by agent, by time period. Wow, this one's really dragging us down. We can actually drill into that to see how it was graded. Now, beyond reporting, beyond using recording to help improve quality, you also get the ability to have as many queues as you like. You can configure new queues on the fly, and for each particular queue, you can have as many agents in them as you like. So agent configuration and queue configuration are done in the same way, very simply through a web browser. You see we can assign a priority to each queue. That's because if you do want some queues to be more important than others, those calls will be taken first in the event that there's a limited number of agents available to take them. We'll prioritize those calls ahead of others. If they're all the same, we're going to round robin between them. Now, you can also choose to time out from a queue and overflow. So this says after 10 minutes, send it on to another queue or an extension or some other phone number or whatever you want to do with it. Or maybe keep it in queue forever if that's what you want. You can record calls or not just by checking the box. Like I said, it's built in. You can distribute calls to agents using any one of these algorithms, and even set an audio screen pop. This is a whisper announcement that plays to the agent in their ear when they get a phone call. This is a great feature. So when this is enabled, and you can turn it on or off just by selecting the audio file, you control all of these audio files. When an agent gets a call from this queue, it'll tell the agent you've got an incoming call from the alpha queue, beta queue, whatever you want to call it. And that gives the agent sort of the audible preparation, the reminder for how they should greet the caller and what the call might be about. In the event you also use DTMF confirmation, wonderful feature in the event you use mobile agents, or people that work from home phone numbers or mobile phone numbers, for example, fully supported in the system. When you turn on DTMF confirmation, it says you've got an incoming call from the support queue, press 1 to accept. So guess what? If they don't press 1, they don't get the phone call. This is perfect for those situations where you might have an agent going to a personal cell phone, and you can't let a customer end up on the personal cell phone voicemail. The DTMF digit they have to press, that press 1 to accept, guarantees that a person's answered and that they're ready to take the call. Now that kind of audio screen popping confirmation is one way to do sort of alerting an agent. The other way is, of course, we have built-in screen pops. So certainly we'll screen pop all the basic details about a phone call, but we'll also connect directly with your CRMs through our M5 Connect product. So if you use Salesforce or NetSuite or any other CRM system that we're compatible with, we screen pop those applications for you and those individual customer contact records as well. Now, I mentioned you can have multiple agents within a queue. You can add an agent or remove an agent quite easily. Let's say we just want to add Ben to this queue. You click Add and click Save, and now Ben's in the queue as well. In fact, you can even edit any one of these folks with a different priority. We might say Ben is priority number 2. So we're going to try all priority number 1s first, and only if they're all busy will we try priority number 2. We can continue to add and remove members real time. This affects calls that are waiting in queue right now. It immediately takes effect throughout the system. You can also control hold treatment. So in the event that when somebody's waiting, you might want to play them, I don't know, a particular audio file, maybe an advertisement for sales, or maybe an upsell opportunity, or maybe it's a frequently asked questions audio file. Well, that's included right here. In the event, maybe after that you want to play some music. We'll play some Bach, and after that we want to play their position in the queue. Well, we can do that. Maybe you want to play their estimated wait time, or maybe we just want to go back and play step number 2 and play some more music. But how long did you want to play that music for? You can actually specify how long it should play that music. We'll play it for 30 seconds. And click Save. And now you have drag and drop. We'll just put that right up there. We'll put this wait for 30 seconds right here, and drag in the position in the queue right there. So we're going to play the announcement, music, position in queue, wait for 30 seconds, and loop back. You have control over this and the ability to change this at any time. It's directly right in front of you, including every audio file that's used in the system. It's all in one place. Every audio file is here. You can add new entries. You can even change them over the telephone. So as you can see, the system is designed to be simple. That simplicity means that you don't need a dedicated IT resource anymore. You don't need folks that have specialized SQL query knowledge or anything weird like that to be able to administer a call center. It's point and click easy through a web browser, but most importantly, it's bundled with the rest of the enterprise applications. So anybody outside the bounds of a call center can take a phone call from a call center as well. You can report on it just like it's in the call center. You can track it. Thanks for listening.